What is the real question the researchers are looking at here? What is their hypothesis? Well, based upon observations, look at other individuals' research, researchers wanted to ask the question, can stress be transmitted? We're not talking verbally by having a friend complain or whatever it is, or getting on your nerves. But can an individual that was exposed to a certain stress without saying a word communicate that stress literally, let's just say, to your biochemistry? Henceforth, change the structure of your brain the same way as their brain was changed in response to a certain stressful stimuli someplace else? That was the question. And so what researchers wanted to look at was an animal model. The reason this may be important, let's say, for example, you have an individual that's having PTSD or some of the form of depression. By changing the structure of the other individual's brains around them, you may have to look at treating the group as well as just the individual. But to proceed, is your stress changing my brain? Scientists discovered that stress transmitted from others can change the brain in the same way as real stress does. Brain changes associated with stress underpin many mental illnesses, including PTSD, anxiety disorders, and depression. Quote the researchers, recent studies indicate that stress and emotions can be contagious. We're not talking verbal here. Whether this has lasting consequences for the brain is not known. The study's lead authors said, quote, what was remarkable was that this particular neuron called CRH, cat, robin, house, neurons from the partners who were not themselves exposed to an actual stress showed changes that were identical to those we measured in the stress mice. Obviously, when I talk about partners, I'm talking about partner mice. The team discovered that the activation of these CRH neurons causes the release of a chemical signal, in this case, an alarm pheromone, from the mouse that alerts the partner or particularly the group. The partner who detects the signal can in turn alert additional members of the group. This propagation of stress signals reveals a key mechanism of transmission of information that may be critical in the formation of social networks in various species. Now, the interesting part about this, to reiterate, is actually changing structures of the brain to be the same as the individual who was exposed to that particular negative stimuli. So that's the bizarre part. So not just someone saying, hey, danger, can you smell my fear? We're actually talking changing the brain. To proceed, Bain, the researcher, suggests that these findings may also be present in humans. Quote, we readily communicate our stress to others, sometimes without even knowing it. There is even evidence that some symptoms of stress can persist in family and loved ones of individuals who suffer from PTSD. On the flip side, the ability to sense another's emotional state is a key part of creating and building social bonds. Meaning something's wrong here, let's all get up and go. To proceed, this research from Bain's lab indicates that stress and social interactions are intricately linked. The consequences of these interactions can be long-lasting and may influence behaviors literally at a later time. Meaning the structural changes in your brain that occur due to the response to someone else's stress. Is there a reason for that? Is your brain learning something from that? Who knows? That's to be determined, obviously, at a later time. Again, very intriguing research in regard to stress and actually changing the structure of other individuals' brains per se. Animal model that translates to humans. That's going to be real interesting scenario in regard to other treatments that may proceed in the future. Again, we're off your channel signing off. Look forward to seeing you all again in 7 days. And as always, thank you very much for listening. DUI citation will be listed, and I'll catch you all next week. Bye.